How do we praise children? How do we give them the rewards? How do we give them incentives? And what is the impact into those rewards? That is the external rewards, the praises, the incentives, and all that. How do they receive them, and what is the impact, especially to a developing mind of a young child perceive it? Let's dive in. Hi, I'm Jumbo. My name is Margaret Cheroge, and in this channel, as you know, we give tools to ourselves so that we can give tools to children so that they can be able to be confident when they're exploring and discovering the world around them, as we give them social emotional support so that they can be able to thrive and flourish in life. Welcome back. If you're coming back, thank you so much for always checking us out. Thank you for making us know that these materials are important to you. Thank you so much for again coming back. If you're new, you're home. This is home. Consider to subscribe and just say something. Let's have this conversation about these topics. And how you yourself you go about it, and how successful or unsuccessful they are. So let's dive in on this topic. I know you have ever come across for somebody, the caregivers, the teachers, especially in early childhood setting. There is a lot of the good jobs, and you are so good at this, and you awesome, all those things. The question is it usually for us, or is it for the child, or are we trying to fill up the gap, and what is the impact? Today actually I want us to talk about how it comes through to the child. One of the things that external rewards, I would call them external rewards and praises and incentives, what it does create an unrealistic expectation to the child. It gives them a little pressure because they have to rise up to that good job that you just told them, because they were not doing it for the good job part, but now you just raise the standard. And most of the time this can lead to anxiety, some stress, some burnout, because they are doing it over and over again so that they can get this. And it is very hard for the younger ones, especially those children, under 6, under 7. It is hard for them. The other thing is sometimes it does undermine the creativity and autonomy, the self-direction, the self-efficacy, the self-independence of that child, because now they have again to rise up to that praise. They were not doing it for all those. They were just doing it for the sake of it. Children will just do things for the sake of it many, many times. And when we offer the praises and the rewards, technically we have just diminished that idea of creativity and autonomy. It does reduce that intrinsic motivation and curiosity, because children are generally curious. They are generally discoverers. They love to explore, they love to experiment. And when we interfere with the praise, then of course the negative part of the praise is maybe scolding or the nose, and that makes it very hard for them to continue with the interest and with the passion that they had before you interfered with the praises and the rewards. Now, the external rewards also and the praises also, it becomes so common and routine. It doesn't hold any power. That moment that was special, it becomes not special anymore, because it is followed by other little tiny moments where you are also offering the same praise, the same reward, and it doesn't become anymore important. What does that do? That child will not necessarily be able to appreciate and be grateful for their little achievement inside themselves, because already this is going to be told is a good job, or you did awesome. They already know the script, and so it honestly kind of make it a little hard for them to appreciate the work that they do. The other thing is it does interfere with the natural pace of learning. I would call it the natural learning pace, and honestly the readiness, because children, again, they are curious, they like to discover, and when you offer that praise, and especially in the middle of the task, you diminish that readiness, that natural pace that they had, and the readiness to push a little harder. it diminishes, and they feel pushed to honestly learn things which are not developmentally or emotionally prepared to do it. What does it do then? It leads to frustration, confusion, resentment. It does hinder that curiosity. The other thing it does is every child, they learn at their own pace. So when you start offering those things, they don't motivate them anymore. They don't feel motivated to pursue whatever it is that they wanted to learn, and therefore they wait for you to tell them now maybe the activity they will do so that they can earn that praise. It does undermine, really, the last one. It does undermine the capacity of the enjoyment that child was enjoying the work that they were doing, and the motivation of that, because now they have to shift the goal in which they had in mind to be that of you, the adult who is saying the good job, so that they can rise up to that standard. And so it is important. I am not saying that we shouldn't. In fact, we should. But we need to be very careful. We need to have a tact. We need to have to be wise. Yeah, that is the word. We need to be wise in how we give the praises, in the way we give the rewards, in the way we give the incentives, so that at least it is working for us and it is also working for the children. Because you don't want to do the counter, productive thing, thinking that you're doing the right thing. This is going to surprise you. The first thing you need to do is don't say it. Don't say anything. If you don't have to say it, if you're not called to say it, don't say it. Just be quiet. Admire it from far. Just smile if you have to. Just know that that child is doing okay even without your praise. It is very hard for us adults because we want to allow our children to see that they need to see that we are seeing that they're doing a good job, but you don't have to say anything. You just be quiet. The second thing that you can do is praise the things they can control. It is very hard, especially probably in early childhood programs or in younger children. Let me just say younger children. It is very hard when we praise the child, for example, for going party. That is a skill they have to learn. They may not have mastered, because just think of it. What will happen when they miss the mark? What will happen if they don't feel committed anymore to that? We are asking the child to do the things they have no control, or the things which are more harder per se in their effort or in their parameter to be able to do that. So it is important. For example, if it is the potty training, if it is letter writing, if it is even reading, all those things, it is very important to know that some of those things are skills they need to learn. So what can we do? We can encourage them. So what should we praise instead? We should praise the effort, praise at least the attitude, the responsibility, at least the decision making or the problem solving that they did. You praised that. I noticed you did 1, 2, 3. I noticed that you gave your friend this. How did that make you feel? Must have felt good. You praise that. But the things they cannot control, just encourage them. The other thing that you can do is to describe what you see. Describe that process. Describe, if, for example, a child draws a picture and they want to show you, and they, of course they are not expecting anything, assumingly, but just describe what you see. Help them know that I noticed that you colored this circle blue and you colored the square green. Must have been a lot of hard work you did. You colored inside. Yeah, you did it. How does that make you feel? Must have felt good, doesn't it? And the child will say, maybe no, I just wanted to do it, and it is okay. That's great. You want them to have the self-independence, the confidence, because when we are doing the praises, we honestly snatch the confidence that they were building, and now we have to give them accolade to make them feel that they are actually belonging. The other thing you can do, if you notice an effort, and for the moms and the teachers, really, I mean, everybody with contact with a child, and you notice the child, for example, cleaned up even before you could ask them, or they want to help you do a certain task, and you can see they are trying, just like any other person you would do, thank them. You can say, I noticed that you cleaned up all those toys, thank you. That is more than enough. And I know that did not diminish the effort, you will not make the child look for another time, but you have acknowledged that moment. The other thing we can do is acknowledge the process. Acknowledge the process of doing one, two, three. If you notice, for example, the child little was able to do the Velcro shoe or tie the shoelaces, describe that process. I noticed you spent a very long time working on tying the shoe. Must have meant, you can say that must have meant so much to you. Let's avoid making the outcome the most great thing. The process of it and the effort of it is so, so important. If we have to praise, let's do the specific. Do the specific. Praise the child specifically. Instead of making the descriptive is important. But what is also important is the specifics of what the child did. Like what I was describing, that you did so much time this one, you must have been so proud of yourself. If honestly the child is not asking, don't. Again, this one probably, if you have to get, if you get anything, if you don't get anything else, get this one. You don't have to. We don't have to fill up the gaps. The many times we like filling up the gaps, we don't have to. It is very important that if you want to teach the child empathy, for example, that compliment that you want to give, instead of giving them, ask them. Ask them the question, do you like what you did? Are you so proud of yourself? Or are you happy that you could be able to do that? It does help. Thank you so much for listening, and let me know what you think or what you have to say about this. Let me know how you have gone about this, and let me know also how it has worked. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.